It's going to be a fun one. I mean, obviously, we know what kind of opponent is coming into our building today, so it's going to be a lot of fun to go against these guys, and feel like we're well prepared, and yeah, we're excited for the game tonight.
What can you take from the game in Boston, the one most recently?
I mean, how they play a little bit. I mean, we've been watching video at the same time, as you said. We played them not too long ago, but obviously they're a great team. But so are we, and we're well prepared, and it's a hard team to play against. But those games are the most fun.
What's the most challenging thing about defending Pastrnak?
I mean, he's very slippery. It's kind of hard to read him sometimes because he's he's really good at hiding what he's going to do. That little toe on his curve too, it makes it a little harder sometimes. I mean, I skate with him a little bit in the summers here and there, so yeah. I mean, obviously he's a terrific player. So, but he's really good at hiding stuff, what he's going to do out there. So it's tough to read sometimes. So, got to play him tight. But maybe if you're not too close to him, it's tough to go too close to him because he's going to go walk around you a little bit. So, but it's always fun playing against those guys. So, hopefully I have a little bit in my book what he's doing from the summer.
How long have you been doing that? How many years does that go back? I guess that's the Willie connection.
Willie connection, yeah. Yeah, I mean they know each other way back. So I think this was one of the first times I think I really skated with him a couple times. So yeah, it's fun to get to skate with him in the summer. I mean, obviously he's a terrific player, so it's great for me to go against him in the summer. It's great competition.
Sorry, you had a nice hit against Connor Sheary on Sunday. How important is it for you to sort of step up your physical game, especially against a team like Boston that plays physically? Yeah,
I mean it's definitely important. I mean, it's not about hitting people really hard or whatever. It's more about playing the right position or knock people off the puck or whatever like that. And but yeah, for sure. I mean, Boston is a physical team. They finish checks, so we got to be smart with it and also match it. I mean, we got to cut guys off and cut guys off and slow them down because it's a fast team to play against. And yeah, we got to do our job in that physical match as well.
You find it's getting easier to pick your spots physically that way, like they hit on Sheary that Mike referred to, Rasmus?
Yeah, a little bit. As I said, I mean, it's not about just absolutely hammering guys or anything like that. It's more about it's more about just knocking people off the puck or get them off balance or cut guys off and stuff like that. But definitely, I mean, we got to match that tonight with how physical they are. So we definitely got to step that up a little bit tonight.
Rasmus, I'm not sure if you're a big golf fan, but Canadian golfer Taylor Pendrith debuted a Maple Leafs-themed bag today, and he's going to be golfing at Pebble Beach tomorrow with Will Arnett, who's a noted Leafs fan. What's it mean to you to have the support of other athletes like Taylor and actors like Will Arnett who are loud and proud about their Leafs fandom?
It's great. I mean, I play a lot of golf myself. My family, my dad's been working with golf for a long time as well, so I kind of grew up a little bit with the sports. So that's awesome. I didn't know about it, but that's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of different celebrities that keep an eye on us, so that's a lot of fun. And if he has a customized bag with the Leafs on or whatever it was, and that's amazing. Yeah.
What have you learned about these games that happen right before a break? Do they have a different feel at all for you guys when you know a vacation is on the other side?
I guess both yes and no. I mean, it's still another game that we want to win, but at the same time we know that we'll have a couple days off after this one, and really got to empty our tanks, and we want to get into the break with good thoughts from the game before. So vacation will be better if we get a win tonight.
What are your plans?
Chasing the sun.
What did you think of the Simmons-Foligno fight in Boston?
I loved it. It's it gets the team going. These two guys. Fliggy was here. I know him pretty well too, and I was just hoping for Simmons to really beat him up. No, but it's great because I mean it gets the team going. It's a lot of emotions out there, and it just shows the competitiveness of the sport. It doesn't matter who you're going against, but guys want to stand up for their team and get the teams going. So I absolutely loved it.
What language do you guys speak on this stat power play unit?
What do you think, Mark?
Swedish?
Yes, definitely Swedish. It's fun. I mean, we're 5 Swedes. You know, one of us is more comfortable talking Swedish too. So, yeah, we try to stick it Swedish. You know, even when we talk to the coach, obviously we're trying to talk English or stuff like that. But on the ice, when we need to talk, just get together. We obviously talk Swedish with each other.
Being his frequent defense partner, what would you say the main reasons why Timothy seemed to take a next step in his pro career?
I would say because it's because of his partner. No, I mean, he's been playing unbelievable this season. He's taken huge steps. You know, he's in the lineup every day. He comes to the rink with, you know, a big smile on his lips, and he's just super excited to have that opportunity, and he's really taken the opportunity as well. So I'm very happy for him, and he's, you know, he looks like he's been in the league longer than he have, I feel like. So he's playing great hockey, and I really hope he continues that.
Alex, how would you describe the significance of the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, these are as big of a regular season games as we get, right? We're playing against the best team in the league, division rival, a rival of the Toronto Maple Leafs at home right before the break. It's fun, exciting game to be a part of, and yeah, as big of 2 points as they get.
What did you take away from the last game in Boston?
Yeah, it was a competitive, hard-fought game. There was quite a bit of physicality in the game. Really close game right up until the end, and they were just able to stick with it a little bit longer than us. And that was a game that we could have come out of there with some points, and we weren't able to. And we can learn from that and hopefully get the 2 tonight.
What have you learned about these games that happen immediately before a vacation? I mean, I would imagine it's just human nature to not think about that a little bit.
Yeah, you're thinking about it. I mean, of course you are, but at the same time, we're here to do a job, and the break hasn't started yet by any means. And I think that it's fun that we have a game like this against a team that we obviously respect a great deal of, and we know the significance and importance of the game, and I think that that's going to capture our full attention. But yeah, you're thinking about the break, looking forward to the break to an extent, but at the same time the break doesn't start till tomorrow, so it's going to be a lot more fun enjoying the break if we come out of this game with a win.
Alex, I'm not sure if you're a golf fan, but Canadian golfer Taylor Pendrith debuted a new Maple Leafs themed bag today.
Did he?
He's going to be golfing tomorrow with Will Arnett, who's also a noted Leafs fan, at Pebble Beach in the Pro-Am. What's that mean to you to have the support of a fellow athlete like Taylor and a well-regarded actor like Will Arnett?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it just shows how significant the Leafs brand is across Canada, really. And there's lots of people in Canada who grew up hockey fans who still cheer for the Leafs, and it makes it that much more special to put on the Maple Leaf jersey every day. We had the opportunity to meet Adam Hadwin and Corey Connors as well the last couple of years, and they both great guys. Corey's local, obviously, and is a Leafs fan as well. Haven't met Taylor before, but there's a few of us on the team who follow golf pretty closely, and yeah, we saw him in the President's Cup, follow his game, know how good of a player he is, and so that's cool to have him wearing the bag.
With Austin out, you're playing up the middle, but you played the wing most of the season. Is there a higher comfort level playing up the middle or on the wing, or does it matter?
I've played significant amounts of wing and center throughout the last few years, so I'm comfortable with both. There's more responsibility playing up in the lineup without Austin. Austin obviously plays in all situations and takes really the most important minutes. Obviously him and John as well, but he's one of the best players in the league. You're not going to replace that. I just got to do my best to fill in.
What's the key for you to winning a faceoff?
It's helpful having Callie and Willie out there too, who are right-handed centermen, so in the neutral zone they can take them on their strong side. It's different when you're up against different guys, but if I'm taking them on my strong side, it shouldn't be too bad.
There's not much separating your two teams on paper, except for penalty kill. They're first,
You're middle of the pack. Is that a bit of an aberration?
I don't know. We've got confidence in our penalty kill. Obviously, we've had lulls throughout this season where we haven't been as good as we want to be. It's something that we can continue to work on and build throughout the rest of the season. And yeah, like you said, these guys are the elite of the elite. We're trying to track them down and chase them. And special teams are huge down the stretch and in the playoffs. So that's something that we want to continue to get better at.
What's the biggest challenge Pasternak represented?
He's just as dynamic as they come. You give him a little time and space, and he can put the puck in the net, and he plays really well with those guys. Whether he's playing with Bergeron and Marchand, that's one of the best lines in the league. But then when they have him with Krejci as well, they've got great chemistry. So he's one of the elite players in the league. There's really not much you can do to stop those guys. You just got to have a 5-man unit out there to limit their chances, and it's not any one person's responsibility. It's just amongst the group to do a good job against them.
What did you think of the Simmons-Foligno fight in Boston?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, Simmer's a guy on our team who isn't going to back down from anyone, and he's got everyone's back on this team. So he's as tough as they come in this league, and we obviously know Foligno pretty well from playing here, and he's not going to back down from anyone as well. So that set the tone for the game, and that was a great start to the game out there.
Mark, how would you, describe the significance of tonight's game?
Oh, it's a big game. You want to, obviously, the team we're playing's been, number one in the league all year, really consistent. So it's a big test. It's going to be a fun game to play in, and then the other side of it's going into the break. You always want to go in feeling good about yourself.
What can you guys take from the last game you played against them in Boston?
Well, I thought it was a good game. I thought pretty even game both ways, and just the little details. I mean, they got us right at the end with some things we have to clean up, but other than that, there's a lot of positive we can take out of that game and try and carry it over into tonight.
In your experience, these games right before a long break, do they feel a little bit different? Is there a tendency to sometimes not be 100% focused on?
Yeah, I don't know. I think this break's only been in for the last how many years, so I think playing an opponent like Boston definitely helps. A team that's you better be prepared for, and you better be right at the top of your game, or they'll make you pay. So I think that helps, but really there's no excuse. I mean, we prepare the same way, and then coming out on the other side of it, I think this break you get a practice or a couple skates in, so there's no excuse either way, to be honest.
I know you guys aren't going to change your game completely, but anything you guys are taking away from the way the Bruins were defending the last few losses that they have that you guys might want to try to apply to how you defend them?
Yeah, I think there's certain things in their zone. I think that we looked at on tape today that from the last time we played them that we think we can do, get pucks to the net, do a better job of maybe getting some traffic in there on the inside. They don't give them much. That's why they've been so successful. They, off the rush and in their own zone, they pack it in pretty well. So it's hard to get inside, and you got to work to do that. So we'll work on that.
Mark, why has the team been so successful even when you haven't had Austin Matthews in the lineup?
I think it's a group pack mentality. I think you've seen guys who've gone down all year, whether it be up front, in net, on the back end. I think, for us, when we're most successful this year, we've been really good through the middle of the ice and shutting down the other team's chances and playing really sound defensively. And when we play like that, we actually create more offensively. So I think, guys are going to go in and out of the lineup. I think when a guy like Tone goes in and out, or comes out, he's obviously our best threat offensively, but I think he doesn't get enough credit for how well he plays in his own zone as well. And guys know that, and guys see that, so we all know we have to do a little bit more and step up.
You've partnered frequently with Timothy since you got here. How do you account for his growth as a player up to now?
I just think Lily, ever since I got here, going back to last year, the one thing that sticks out is he's really calm out there, plays with a lot of poise, and it's pretty really impressive because for a young guy to have that much poise on the ice. It's not an easy thing to do in different situations, and I think him and Sandy have been unbelievable this year. And you know, when they needed to be called upon to step up in different roles, they have, and they've just been solid throughout.
What's the toughest part of Pasternak's game when it comes to defending him?
I would say he's one of the best one-on-one guys in the league, to be honest. He can shoot, obviously, and score from a lot of different angles and a lot of different spots, but he's really deceptive one-on-one, so you gotta try and take away time and space. When he gets going, he's another guy, when he gets going through the neutral zone, it's pretty hard to stop him, so we gotta try and take away his speed and time and space.
How would you describe the impact Boston's bottom six has on the game?
Yeah, I mean, they play hard. They're deep. That team, that's why, again, they've had so much success. I feel like they play the same way throughout their lineup, but yeah, their bottom six play hard. They get pucks in deep and forechecks. So we know what we're going up against. We have a lot of respect for them, but you know, there's a difference between respecting a team and fearing a team, and we just got to play with a lot of confidence ourselves.
How big are special teams given they're number one in penalty killing right now?
Special teams are huge, I think, in any game, and I can't remember going back to the last one against them, but I think we got one too. So it's important to win the special teams battles, especially, you know, in games like this where teams are pretty tight and evenly matched. I think it's really important.
Who came up with the idea for the kind of belt prank on John post-game on Sunday? Was that you?
I can't take credit for that. Mitchie was the first one who mentioned it, and then Lily obviously had it, so he jumped on, and yeah, I think it was a good one. We got a couple guys in here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Did you think about giving a longer speech, or did you figure you just might as well cut it off?
I did, but a few guys, you know, the joke got a few guys, and they were already pretty upset that we didn't give it to John, so I had to turn it over pretty quick.
Sheldon, what do you want your group to take away from the last game against Boston as they go into this one?
No, just that you got to play 60 minutes, finish the job, all those kind of things. But I also thought, you know, we showed that we can play and compete with them, and even when we're trailing in a game, that we can come back. Those are the kind of things. But you know, when you're playing this team, and you just look at them, you know, they are who they are just because they've been thriving in all facets of the game. 5-on-5, power play, penalty killing, goaltending, face-offs. Like they're top of the league in every facet. So there's no shifts off. There's no plays off.
Rasmus Sandin was talking about how he skated with Pasternak, him and Nylander in the summer, and I'm just wondering how much, if at all, you talk to players if there's opponents they know and know well. Do you try to, you know, get their information at all and their habits? Right?
I don't think there's much that you can take from anything that happens in an off season, but you know, I think there's probably more you can glean from guys who played with them in season. You know, because there's more to it. There's the structure piece. There's how the coaches talk to them. There's, you know, the nuances of the system that maybe you don't quite pick up or quite understand to the degree of those that are inside the walls. So I think that's more maybe where you would take a little bit more and then take some time to talk to the guys. I don't know the off season so much is it, but you know, maybe sometimes because they have a personal connection, maybe there's something that, because they talked the night before or leading up to the game, that you know, they might find out about their opponent, but that's about it.
It's a bit of an obvious question, but you guys have the most second period goals in the league. They have the most third period goals in the league. How does that fit into your overall strategy of, I think before you've mentioned a couple of times about second periods and how important they are to your team? Yeah,
well, second periods for sure are really important for us. You know, we've found ways to really up our pace in that period, and we're a lot to handle when that's the case. You know, the third period, I think you could probably point to a lot of different things for Boston and their strength in terms of, like, you know, you look at a lot of their games, and sometimes they're really close, and they just pull away in the end. You know, the other team that they're playing breaks before they do. And we were guilty of that the last time we saw them. And so I think that's part of it. They just stay with it and pull away. I'm sure because they've won so much, I'm not sure if you're including empty net goals and stuff like that, that might inflate that number. But for a team that wins so much, but it's also a tribute to their team that they just stay with it and pull away and win games in the end. And that's a trend that we noted before we played them last, and it came true in the game that we played them.
Wayne has played all 3 games now against Boston this year, a couple in a row. Where are you at with his game, and is there something you like about him being in the lineup against Boston?
I missed the first. Wayne, okay, Wayne's. No, I mean, I talked about Wayne yesterday. Like, I think he brings a lot to our team in terms of the energy and the voice, the experience, the presence in the lineup. So I think there's lots to be said there. Also, we have 12 forwards on the roster right now that are healthy and able to play. So there wasn't much that went into this decision beyond that. But like I said yesterday, there are elements that Wayne brings that help us in these games that we expect to be very competitive and physical and such.
I know you have lots on your plate with the Leafs, but how much are you keeping tabs on Matt Nyes' season in the NCAA, and how much dialogue is there with the organization and him in season?
Yeah, none with me. I'm not really keeping track. I got enough going on. We do get reports of all of our prospects, in my email and stuff, and every now and again I'll take a peek at what all the prospects are up to. Well, that's about it. But there's between player development and scouts and management, they put a lot of focus on those types of things. So I'm sure they're on top of it.
What's your sense of the group? The last game before the break maybe can be a mental hurdle. The guys seem locked in, talking about how important this game is. What's your feel of the group?
Yeah, I mean, a game like this is a nice one to have. And the last one of the break, it is natural. I'm sure a lot of guys, whether it's them or their wives or girlfriends, have bags packed and all those types of things that they're ready to get going. With this one here, you cannot overlook. So that in itself, I think, has been a little bit easier in that sense. And we've had 2 days to sort of build up to this. And obviously on Monday, we took a different type of approach where it was an optional skate, but just brought the guys in just to make sure we were focused and talk a little bit about this game that's ahead here to finish the break appropriately.
Maybe we see a few more optional skates heading towards the latter part of the season?
I don't know about that. I don't love the optional skates, but I think you're sort of just dipping your toe in the water versus, we figure if we're going to bring them in, we like to get some real work done. And the other part of it is we just don't have many times where there's 2 days. I haven't looked too much of it in February. There is some of that at play, but we might end up taking those as full days off versus the optional stuff. So I think that's really it. Is generally if you're bringing them into the building, you're going to have a work day. But we'll take that a 1 day or certainly 1 week. But really, it's a day-to-day thing with how the group is feeling. And we thought with the long break upcoming, we could get away with bringing them in and having a day like that, and really most importantly, make sure they're getting a good lift in the gym.
So plans to get away for a couple of days?
I do, yeah.
Where have you seen the growth in Sandin, Sheldon? That's not the answer, that's the player as a whole and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think he's just learning to pick his spots really well, offensively and defensively. I think that's a big part. I think, sometimes, with the young defensemen and I think Rasmus and Timothy for that matter, at times the game can be a little higher event both ways in terms of what you're giving up, in terms of what you're creating. Sometimes you can create a great play on one end, but you're being a little bit too aggressive in the wrong spots that can open up the game a little bit the other way. I think as things stabilize, you see a little less of that. And I think that's what's happened with Rasmus. I point to, if there's things that really stand out about the 2 veterans on our team on defense with Giordano and Brody, you really look at the games that they play, and they're making contributions and they're helping us get the puck moving. But defensively, they rarely put themselves or the team in a bad spot. And that's just through experience and recognition of, sometimes maybe the system calls for you to be really aggressive and pressure, but there's something that they see that they read that just makes them uncomfortable. So they'll just stay home in that spot. Where a lot of younger guys, they'll just go anyway because that's what they're told to do. And there's maybe they don't read the play as well or as quickly because there is as much as you put in a structure all the time and an expectation of how you want to play, I mean, a lot of things happen on the course of a shift in hockey that a coach can't really tell the player that might happen, because things just happen so fast, so quickly, and you have to rely on your reads and such. And so much of that comes through experience, and I think that's part of what Rasmus has been going through.
Just one thing, but is that kind of like the hit that Sherry the other night when I said making that read and that play, and knowing that he's done that a bit before? Yeah, he has a tendency to do that, to catch guys for sure. If they get their head down, he's willing to put himself there. But yeah, I think the way he set himself up in terms of his positioning prior to that play allows him to do that. Maybe he lunges too quickly, and maybe the move that Sherry makes allows him to get around him. So I think, picking your spots and the timing of it is all stuff that comes with reps and experience.
Coach Samsonov has had to play a lot lately, and also Murray's a little banged up. How important is this break for your two goalies to get some rest and maybe heal up a bit?
Yeah, I think. I don't think in Sammy's case he necessarily needs to heal up, but he has played a lot. But I think we've managed that well. I think it's, rest is important for everyone because you want to play for a long time, and a lot of hockey is left, and the hockey's going to ramp up for sure. So the break is healthy and good for everybody, no matter what the case is. But I think in Sammy's case, he likes the groove that he's in. He likes what's been happening. So there's some of that where you get the rest, but you're stopping your momentum. So the key is going to be to get back up and get restarted again, and not lose the foundation that he's put in place that's really allowed him to have the success that he's had here of late. But, certainly right now he's feeling good and confident, and it comes at a good time that we play a game like this, and then everybody can decompress afterwards for a bit.